Greetings, Mandrake here. This is Mission 14, House of Reckoning on Legendary with all skulls on, except for Bandana. There are a ton of subjects to cover, so let me get started. This mission is broken into 4 stages. The first, basic training, which has 4 waves of enemies. Second, advanced training, which has 3 waves of enemies. Third, a one-on-one fight against Jega or Rdomnai.
Where is he?
And finally, the fourth is a one-on-one fight versus Escharum. The first thing I do is grab the shock rifle and the 2-shot skewer. I will be moving along a sizable stockpile of weapons throughout the mission. The first stockpile is for later stages and won't be used, and a second stockpile of weapons is to be used for the current stage because I like options. I am currently carrying a full BR and a 4-shot sniper rifle. The sniper rifle and all ammo I gather in stage 1 will be used during advanced training. There are no ammo dispensers in the field on basic training or advanced training. There are ammo dispensers in the security office for advanced training. There is a line to cross, more like a box, that is ground level, which will trigger a 30-second timer, which will begin with some dialogue from Escharum to open some doors to the first wave of enemies. If you are up in the rafters, however, it won't trigger. So I'm going to work my way over to the mounted machine gun turret, dismount it, and set it aside, because grunts will like to get on there and use it against you. Then I'm going to get in the hog and use it to splatter enemies behind a door with the most enemies, most notably 2 elites. When Escharum finishes his monologue with a testament to our strength, the doors will open and the first wave will begin. 2 side doors will also open, each with a jackal sniper. I have timed out from this position to drive toward the doors, and they will open as I drive through without giving the enemies a chance to evade or throw nades. Just get splattered. Behind these doors were 2 elites, 4 grunts, and a mule. The second stage began as I killed that mule. Each stage begins when there are 4 or fewer enemies live. The next stage of enemies come through the doors at the opposite end. They will not push my position and will gather around the far end of the arena. I'm on my way to collect the other stalker rifle. And with that melee, I absorbed that stalker. Work my way back over to stockpile area. Weapons I am interested in adding to the 2 stockpiles from the Splattermageddon are the Hydra, which is a 612 or a 615, an 8-shot sniper rifle, sword, heat wave, and most importantly, the plasma pistol. I now have the plasma pistol, and I'm going to go after these 2 grunts, which always gather on the right side upper walkway. And also just to the left, under those 2 plasma barrels, are going to be 2 more grunts. You see one of the grunts on threat sensor. I'm going to pick him. I'm going to noob combo this one. The other one is not showing. But after his partner died, you see him scurrying over to the main sandbox area. The important part I was trying to do was to pick off that jackal miner, because he's going to drop a plasma pistol. And hopefully he doesn't get blown away by that grenade there. And there I got it. Got that collected, and I'm going to get back into cover. These guys are relentless with the disruptor. However, they do hang out and stay in the areas that they're currently in. They will move around to try and find me, but they're not going to push my position or push the position I was in where I have my stockpile. They're just going to try and get higher ground and try and shoot at me from distance. I've returned to the scene of the Splattermageddon to merge the two swords into one and merge the two heat waves into one full heat wave. My current use stockpile will contain the shock rifle, stalker rifle, sword, heat wave, plasma pistol. My stockpile for the later stages contains the skewer, hydra, and sniper rifle. I'll be moving my current use stockpile in between these two storage bins, and I'm moving these shock coils out of the way just so that there's not like an accidental nade or a nade nearby, because the additional explosion with the coils could send the weapon stockpile even further away and cause more problems. So I'm just moving them out of the way. This area that I'm placing the stockpile is in kind of a safe place because the area I'm going to do most of my fighting is going to be nearby, so I can fall back to the stockpile here, and I won't be taking any nades over here. I'll be taking nades in another area, so all the weapons will be safe. This area here I'm getting set up is an area seems where the enemies get scripted to want to go. They get compelled to want to climb this ramp that gives them high ground, and one by one they go to that area and they're drawn to that area, and some other enemies will also kind of gather nearby, but they like to go up to the top of that ramp. And so it's a nice area, and it's also going to have a safe area for me. They throw a nade, I can dodge it, I can shoot them, I can stun them, but one of the downfalls or one of the side effects is that right there, I noobed him and it knocked him off. But it's survivable for me, and it's not too much of a big deal because there's a it was a Jackal miner dropped another plasma pistol, so I'll get another plasma pistol, and there'll be other Jackal miners to appear later, and I think some Jackal majors will have some plasma pistols as well. Got kind of lucky there that I wasn't getting shot too many times. Too many shots will take my shields off and keep my shield down, where even though if I'm melee, I won't be able to charge. I have to wait for the shock effect to work off, but apparently he didn't shoot me enough. I guess he was missing. So as I mentioned, the next wave begins with less than 4 enemies alive. There are 2 Jackal Majors and a Grunt remaining from the second wave. The third wave will consist of 4 Skirmishers, 2 Jackal Majors, 2 Grunts, and a Mule. The Mule is carrying a plasma pistol, and in his backpack is a 12-shot Cinder Shot and a Sentinel Beam with 250 in the clip and 250 in reserve. They enter from the front right door, so if you're in the sandbox area and you're facing the front office, it'll be the door to the right. And most of the enemies will make their way to the sandbox area, while a few will remain outside the door they entered from. I am trying to determine what enemies I have in front of me. It looks like there's a couple Skirmishers, a Mule, and a regular Grunt, or Grunt Ultra. I picked off those 2 Jackal Majors. I think they had Manglers. So there's the Mule, Skirmisher, one more Skirmisher in cover, and a Grunt. Then hanging around in the sandbox area is another Grunt with 2 Skirmishers. Right now there's 5 enemies remaining. Now 4, now 3, and now wave 4 begins. These last 3 enemies are going to push my position, so I don't have to worry about going after them. Alright, so wave 4. will consist of 4 brutes from the left side of the room and 6 brutes from the right side of the room, as in based on my location looking at where they're coming in from. So 2 snipers will be on the right hand side, and one of them's taking aim at me right now. One of them will be visible on the upper walkway. The other one is just hanging back and waiting for his sniper buddy to die. Whenever I get him killed, then the other sniper will come out and, for the most part, take his place. I decided to use the BR instead of the shock rifle for him. And then what I try and get is a single shot on a barrel to take out some of the brutes below. In some cases I had 1 barrel, and that was the second sniper there. I've had a case where I shot one of the barrels, came down and took out all 3. Now that I've killed that second sniper, the jetpack brute captain will now push my position that was on the right hand side. He's going to come all the way across the map, walk his way over, and attack me over here. I would like to have the heat wave, but I did not have it over here. It is nearby at the stockpile, but I'm going to take this guy out with a grapple pound, and I'm just trying to get the right position. Had a short takeoff and it appeared to work okay. Now I can use his heat wave. On my side, above me and to the upper walkway on the left, is another jetpack brute captain and a regular brute, or a brute major with a rocket launcher. And I think, oddly, there's another brute that's also on that side. They usually, I don't know if he made his way over from this side that I'm on now. Made his way over and now he's approaching me. Now I'm going to grab this shock coil and try and stun him and grapple him. I got to grapple with him. It sends him a little ways. And I don't know what happened with the other one there. So with this one, I'm just going to use the heat wave, beat him down. Okay, so now above me is a jetpack brute captain and a brute major. I think right now at this point there's just 4 enemies remaining. All brutes.
I see nothing.
This will be something interesting because his buddy nearly kills him with his rocket launcher. He's a little
It's my choice to fight you.
trigger happy. So now I got the biggest threat out of the way was the one there with the jetpack brute. Maybe he's got more armor. So here's the other jetpacker. I mean, not jetpacker, the other brute. So there's 3 brutes remaining. One here on this in front of me. And I was just close enough to grapple pound him. So now 2 remain. And I'm going to work my way around instead of trying to take them on, because that's kind of an awkward position to try and fight them from that area. I'm going to work my way around the other side. It's what I typically do is I'll approach from the other side. I'll have access to some kinetic coils that I can throw at them. Even though they're inconsistent, they are helpful. I'm going to work my way over to here and find the dropped skewers so they don't despawn. I'm going to reload them. I want to say they have, they're a 1 in 3, so they should be 4 shots each. However, I think one of the other has a little more than that, which is why I was able to touch up on one, and there's still 1 left over. So I have a full one, and then 1 with, I don't know how much ammo. There's also, should be a couple rocket launchers over here that I want to merge together. And I'm going to work my way over to these final 2 brutes. Something really kind of odd happens here. Hits him in the face, and then I'll Stick him with the nade. Actually, the other one here approaching, so I'm going to stick him with the nade. And with the other coils laying around, killed off the other one, so the last two are dead. And that will conclude Wave 4, and at this point it just becomes gathering weapons for my stockpile to carry into the next stage. Just touched up on the BR, so my BR is full. And I get the plasma pistol. I want to touch up on others and get them merged, so I'll have a full plasma pistol. And in this corner, there's a 12-shot cinder shot. It's like a 6 and 6. And a 250 sentinel beam. Just a standard sentinel beam. And with that, the plasma pistol I have is full. Now, I'm kind of wanting to create two separate piles, or at least try and figure out how to organize it, but it'll all kind of work out. On one side, say like on the right hand side when I get to the pile here, I'll create a pile of weapons that are full and then a pile of weapons that are used. And now as I grab the rocket launcher, I want to merge together all the rockets laying around and get it maxed out. So that was a full skewer, and now I'm carrying over the used skewer. The turret is a 50% turret because it was just lying around. There's another rocket launcher. Here's the other turret. It's a 50% turret as well. Rocket launcher. And another one. I'm thinking that rocket launcher is full. And just made sure that heat wave was full. I grabbed the sniper rifle and went to the top of that little hut, which happens to be a 4-shot sniper because it was placed up there, which would bring my total to 4 and 12, or 12 shots in reserve, because I brought in a 4-shot, a mule dropped, a 8-shot sniper, and with the one on top, gave me 12 shots in reserve, so it's 4 and 12. So it still has room for 4 more in reserve, which there will be another sniper rifle in the next area. I'm considering moving a needler. Needler can come in handy against the hunters. In advanced training, there's going to be several skirmishers, and they all have needlers. Granted, they don't drop a lot of ammo. You have to really kind of merge them all together. A lot of them to get a full one. The stalker rifle is probably around 50%, 50-something percent. It's probably under 60, but more than 50. The shock rifle is a 20-40, but I guess kind of think of it as a 4-shot clip with 8 shots in reserve. When you step into this area and you start that cutscene, this next cinematic, you get a save progress. Takes time to move all these weapons, and the majority of them do have a purpose. I do use a lot of them. However, in the next area, or at least the next stage, the advanced training, some of them will end up getting despawned because they'll sit around too long. They'll idle out and despawn. And I could really talk at length because I go through extensive trouble to try and keep them alive and try and keep them going. But this next stage, advanced training, it's got 3 waves. There's numerous things, lots of things going on, lots of things I'm planning on and trying to work on, and it always involves trying to keep the weapons alive and keep them from despawning. And despite all my efforts, there's still times I just can't make it over to them to touch up on them so they stay alive. Okay, now to break down the use of all these weapons. For advanced training, at least for the fight, I'll be using the plasma pistol, mainly on grunts. Sniper rifle, when I get to wave 2, we use it on grunts, brutes, mainly like berserkers. And the stalker rifles and shock rifle is a backup in case I run out of ammo on the sniper rifle and I'm unable to refill it. The sword is in case I have a need for getting my shield back in a dangerous situation, but I think the sword could also be used for the hunters. So then on with the hunters, I have the Ravager, the machine gun turrets, the Hydra, leftover sniper rifle if there is any, and there can be some, Needler, the sword in case I need to get a shield, and possibly the Cinder Shot, which I think the Cinder Shot just may despawn or I don't bother using it. Then other weapons for Jega Rdomnai, the Sentinel Beam, and lastly for Escharum, I'll need to move weapons such as the rocket launchers, all the skewers that I can collect, and the Sentinel Beam once I'm done using it on the Blademaster. Point of interest, here at the top of the elevator, it is important to note that as I move weapons from the elevator to the office, you don't want to move too far away from the elevator doors, or they will close behind you and lock. No opening them back up. You could quickly suicide and hope you return to a good checkpoint prior to the doors closing. In this office, there's a kinetic ammo dispenser, and by that, there's 2 6-shot Cinder Shots. So when I touch up with the one I'm carrying or the one I have bringing along, it'll max out to where it's full. There's a plasma ammo dispenser with a 50% plasma pistol laying by it. And on the second deck, as I'm grabbing the Ravager, it's a 50% Ravager, and I will max it out to 100% off of the ammo dispenser. And off of that kinetic ammo dispenser, I will max out the ammo or fill up the Needler. And as well on the Stalker rifle, I will fill it up and it will be maxed out off the plasma ammo dispenser. On the battlefield, by the Pelican, there is a 4-shot sniper rifle and a 2-shot rocket launcher. And there's also a couple 50% machine gun turrets. In the front middle bridge area, there's a mounted machine gun turret. And if I pull that, then that's a 100% turret. By the tower, on the second deck of the tower, there's a 4-shot sniper rifle. And down below, like the basement of the tower, is a 2-shot rocket launcher, along with numerous BRs, ARs, and other type of weapons. And also in the little gully or trench, there's bulldogs and mounted. There's all kinds of weapon racks for marine weapons. To the left of the mounted machine gun turret, where that little bridge crossing walkway, that machine gun turret, to the left of that, there's 2 pursuit hydras, and I think each of them are 6 shot. I end up forgetting about them, but if I were to remember, I would get them and use those for the hunters, and would have come in handy on this fight for the hunters. As it turns out, the Hydra either despawned or I forgot about the Hydra, so it did not make it to this stockpile, did not make it to getting moved in this grouping. But as it turns out, in I want to say the 3rd wave, there's a mule that drops a sniper and a Hydra, and I will end up using and gathering that Hydra for the hunter fight. As I mentioned earlier about the elevator doors, the same applies to this office door. Step too far away and it will close for good. Try and quickly suicide so that you can get a checkpoint prior to the doors closing. There'll be 3 to 4 stockpiles I'm creating here. There'll be a stockpile for the Blademaster and Escharum fight. They'll be on this right-hand side, this upper deck of the right-hand side. There'll be weapons for the hunter fight. There'll be a bunch of them in the bottom right-hand corner of this area. And then there's going to be a pile of weapons for the 3 waves of this fight. And as with the prior section of basic training, there is a trigger line to cross that activates and starts the first wave. The first wave of enemies will come through the right side door, which is kind of just below me, and the left side door, which kind of faces it across the other side. On the right side door is going to be 4 skirmishers, all with needlers, 4 grunts, a mule carrying a plasma pistol, and in his backpack is a BR and an AR. The left side door is going to have 3 skirmishers with needlers, 3 grunts, a mule with a plasma pistol, and drops a commando and bulldog. Now I'm just putting the final touches on my weapons before I start moving them. I'm going to move and juggle the plasma pistol because I'm going to be using it for this first wave. And I want to get the sniper rifle to the tower. And along the way, I want to touch up, or I want to pull the turret here so that grunts don't get on there and use it against me. And I'm going to place the sniper rifle here at the bottom of the tower, and then I remember there's a sniper rifle over here, so I at least have the ammo. This sniper rifle will be full when I carry it up to the top, but this sniper I'm carrying needed to be reloaded. And right in midstream there, I needed to finish and let it reload. And as I said, they're coming to the left side door and the right side door. I didn't exactly handle the start of this very well. I'm already getting shot up by the needlers. Part of my plan of what I'm trying to do here with at least this setup with the angle I'm trying to do is I want to ensure the enemies kind of get up in the sandbox area here. And as with the beginning of every wave, when you have less than 4 enemies alive, the wave will begin. And so I want to work it down where I have 4 or 5 enemies alive, and then I'm going to move these weapons that I've set aside for the Escharum and for the hunters, and I want to move them into a safe place. Safe as in safe from nades, and where I can access them and not necessarily be seen by other enemies and have nades thrown at me and stuff like that. So you see this storage shed that's just behind me in this right corner. I'll get this grunt. Had bad luck grappling the rock instead of the grunt. And as I'm putting together the needlers, so I grabbed 4 needlers and got them combined, got them merged together. This storage shed here is where I'm going to put the hunter stockpile. The next storage shed, which was just kind of next to it, I'm going to put in the Escharum Blademaster stockpile. Looking around for weapons. I'm looking to fill up the plasma pistol. There's one up here that was dropped by the mule. Trying to see how many enemies are left. This area, almost like a little alleyway, is good cover for moving the weapons. As long as the enemies don't see me, they're not going to throw nades or shoot at me. So it's a good avenue for moving all these weapons. Trying to duck out of all those needles in the air. Start moving these two stockpiles. Out there is a skirmisher. There's skirmishers. I'm not sure how many grunts are left now, and a mule. Like I said, I want to keep 4 to 5 alive, and when I'm ready to begin the next wave, then I'll just kill off what's needed for the wave to begin. And I want to be very specific with how many are left alive. I want to ensure I'm down to just 3 with just enough to start. Wave 2 is going to give me 4 brute snipers and 4 berserkers. The brute snipers are going to come through the side doors. These back side doors at the bottom of the ramps. And the berserkers are going to come out the back left doorway. The back left of the arena. And the thing with that is, with why the numbers are important, is I'm going to want to kill off the 2 snipers that'll be on this, which will be the right hand side, the side that I'm on. And I want to kill off the berserkers. And by doing that, then there's the wave won't start. That way I can come back to this alley and start moving the hunter stockpile back to this corner. And secondly, try and keep alive the weapons that I've already dropped. I want to at least touch up on them so they don't idle out and despawn. Because once the 3rd wave starts, there's not going to be... There's very little opportunity to move weapons or touch up on the weapons. There's going to be a lot going on, and there's lots of distraction. So that sniper rifle is going to be key at the top. I'm going to move to the top of the tower once the wave 2 starts. I'll use the sniper on grunts, on the berserkers. I'll use the BR for the brute snipers, and I can use the BR for like mule, skirmishers, jackals. And then the sniper can be for, like I already mentioned, you know, for like some of the grunts. Here I'm having a hard time. The stuff doesn't want to throw. I got these piles of weapons down here. These are very important for Escharum. And the sentinel beam is crucial for the Blademaster. And for Escharum. And I had the wrong equipment selected. Put a drop wall down instead of grappling. So here's the second storage shed. Now the purpose with these storage sheds is, one, it's good cover. If I get inside the shed, enemies aren't going to see me. Secondly, if enemies, with all the nades and explosions that can be going around, it's a safer place and containment for these weapons, so they're not going to get blasted away and start to lose them. I do realize it's time consuming, and I've done this done this playthrough on this mission many times, and so yes, this gets old. And it gets boring, and it's just, yeah, it just gets old. In this corner, when Wave 3 starts, there's going to be 4 grunts that come out, and they're going to hang out behind that storage shed. Not necessarily a problem, but it's a problem because when you get to Wave 3, at random, grunts can just suicide, and they'll throw up their arms with grenades in their hands, and they'll just chase after you. And so some of those in that back corner with that storage shed there, they're known to do that. Okay, it looks like I'm ready to move around. Look to kill off some of these guys and get the next wave started. I think there's like 6 enemies remaining. They're not all showing up on the threat sensor. Either 5 or 6. Okay, so 1. I can see 5 on threat sensor. Okay, so it looks like there's 4 remaining. One of them's a mule. I know a couple of them are skirmishers. Touching up on the BR, reloaded it. It is full. Here comes the mule.
There are more waiting for you. Find them.
If you've taken too long in between waves, he just makes little announcements. And now, that is the last one. Or, put it this way, there's 3 enemies remaining. I'm having trouble with equipment and stuff. Trying to get the sniper and get to the top of the tower. So, 2 brute snipers to my left, where I just put the threat sensor down, and 2 to the right side, for the other threat sensor in the back left corner. We're coming, the berserkers are now coming out. We'll get to hear them. Along this edge, all 4 edges of this tower top is problematic. If you step below the edge, it's not like a step that you can just step back up on. You have to jump back up. You can get caught on the edge. It's really frustrating, especially because you're exposed. It is 2 headshots with the sniper rifle on the berserker to get the shield and knock his helmet off, and then you can switch to the BR and get the headshot. If you happen to manage to get a body shot, then that helmet may not come off, and it'll take several shots to knock off the helmet, and it's hard to even tell or see if he's got the helmet on or not. Unfortunately, this one moves within the edge where I can't see him. View is obstructed. I'm trying to get a shot on his shoulder or arm to see if he'll step out or move. I'm going through a little bit of BR ammo, and I'll be going through more here in a moment. Yeah, I don't want to kill off any other enemies. I just want to kill off the berserkers because I want to head back down and try and move some of my weapons around. Here's the one where I got a body shot instead of a second headshot. Here I'm giving him headshots, and it took a few of them to knock the helmet off. I think there's 2 more berserkers remaining. Yeah, one by this lamppost is going to be problematic because I got this skirmisher shooting at me. Had to do it quickly before he gets his shield back. Alright, so that's 3 down. One more berserker to go. And where I'm located, the snipers can't see me. Being he had prior damage, had some bleed through and got the kill on that one. So that's it for the berserkers. I can look to hop down and try and touch up on my weapons, maybe even move them for the hunters. But these, and I touch up on the sniper rifle, I get maybe a few rounds. I get over in this corner and I'm gonna want to start moving stuff, but these skirmishers begin to pursue me, and they will not stop pursuing me. They will keep coming after me, and I didn't want to kill any of them because I wasn't ready for the wave to start. So at the door I'm facing are gonna come the hunters and 4 jackal majors. The other door that will be to the right of that door will be 4 grunts, 2 jackal majors, a mule with a commando bulldog, and another mule that will drop a sniper and hydra. And at random, as you can hear, some of those grunts at random, you're not sure which ones, will suicide. And they'll run around for a while with those nades, and yeah, they'll eventually just blow themselves up, like that one just did. And in that back corner that I was just looking at where the grunts were, yeah, 4 grunts are going to come through that back door, and they're going to hang around there. And so if I hop back down again, it's kind of random as to what grunts are going to suicide and which ones are going to shoot and fight. While up here, I'll pick off as many enemies as I can. I'm looking to kill off everything except for the hunters. There are 2 jackal majors by the pelican, on the pelican side. Those are 2 jackals I want to keep alive, because there's going to be many times where the hunters are going to get shots on me, I'm going to take damage, and it's very difficult to get your shields back by trying to punch a hunter. And so those jackals are just a means of me getting a melee so I can get my shield recharged. So I keep them alive. It's like just 1 grunt left back in that corner. And this is time-consuming. This takes a little while because of how it's a safe place up here, but it's an awkward way to try and pick off these enemies. They sit in cover, at least some of them do. I think I was low on sniper ammo and I didn't want to put 2 shots into them. So you can put 1 shot into a grunt, and then 3 or 4 shots will get you a kill. And there you can see on the threat sensor there were 2 jackal majors there at the pelican. I want to keep them alive. I'll kill everything else except for that. And at this point, there's really very little I can do to want to hop down and try and touch up on and keep my weapons alive, because the hunters like to hang around along that alleyway, that side. Sure, they can make their way over here and this and that. That's what I would hope for. And I could race my way over there and try and touch up on stuff and try and move the stockpile. But what's going to happen is a lot of the stuff is going to despawn because I'm kind of stuck up here for a little bit. Now, many times you'll see these grunts throw nades up here. It's very rare that a nade will find its way up and land up here on this deck. They usually throw and hit the sides and it bounces and goes back down. It's very rare that something makes its way up there. Given where... See, this one's going to suicide. So there's the 4 shots needed after the sniper shot. But I gave my position away. That nade didn't help because I think there was a weapon there. I think it was a skewer. This one isn't going to suicide. And like I got a full shield recharge. I want to touch up on these weapons, but I hear the jackals. I'm just making sure they're not going to see me. I got needlers. The needlers are going to be good for hunters. I mean, it at least applies damage, and with the way I'll do it with the drop wall, it'll be safe. The cinder shot, I'm not sure what kind of damage it does on the hunters, but what the cinder shot can do is move them around, because the explosion isn't more of an implosion, it implodes. And so if you want to move them to the left or the right, then you have it implode, or the explosion explode in the direction of where you want them to go. So if you want it to go to the left, you have it explode to the left. You want it to go backward, to have it explode behind them. But it's an implosion. It pulls, pushes. And with cowbell and boom, really makes the cinder shot dangerous, and it's very lethal. But it doesn't seem like it does a lot of damage on the hunters. But after all, they take a lot of damage. Checking on the Escharum weapons. I picked the skewer back up to reload it, see if it was going to reload. It's missing, this pile is missing a rocket launcher. I have no way of knowing if it's the full rocket launcher or the used. Ruh-roh, Raggy. To come over here for as well was to get the other skewer that was dropped by the sniper, but that avenue's been taken away by the hunter and the jackals. They'll see me. I'm not too concerned about the jackals as I am about the hunter. The hunter takes that out of the equation, so I can't do that. I can't say I thought this out very well. Had some unlucky bit there. And I'm going to have to use a lot of BR. And then was hoping for just that, to have one of those fronts drop a nade and kill off one of the others. So once again, the hunters are pursuing. They're finding me. Not good. He's at my stockpile. Luckily it worked out. I came up top, was able to reload to add some ammo. It was just 4 shots. I added 4 shots to the sniper. I think I was low. I think I was really low. Before I can engage the hunters, I need to move the stockpile of the weapons into that back corner. And in order to do so, I need to have... Well, see, here's a fortunate thing that happens, almost unfortunate. I got a shield recharge. The nade almost got me, though, but I got a shield recharge. So it's full. I'm going to come over and check on my stuff. And a jackal is, I think, going to shoot me. No. The hunter knows I'm over here. I want to get this alley cleared away. This corner is where I'm going to bring all the weapons to and do my fight against the hunters. And I put threat sensors down to see if there's any activity over here, any kind of enemies over here. And I'm going to look for see if there's a dropped skewer from the snipers. That one's already despawned. The other one here is still here. And this was really risky. Grabbed the stalker and moved and juggled the sniper and stalker together with the... And just glad the hunter didn't shoot at me. Oh, now I have another... I finally have a good full, mostly full skewer. I don't know the other one. I don't recall if the other one is full or not, because I think one of them had despawned or been moved. Having some unlucky business trying to get back to the top of the tower. So all that's left is the two hunters, which are on the side that I want. That's where I want them. This really works out. They're where they want. And the jackals, in a way, are where I want them, but I want them looking in this direction, thinking that I'm here on the tower. I want the hunters to think I'm on the tower. I'll make my way back down, and you didn't see it, but I landed on the sniper rifle that the mule dropped. He dropped an 8-shot sniper rifle. I'm good with sniper rifle. I'm good. I'm happy about that. And I got the Hydra. It's a 6.12. I think it's a 6-shot clip with 12 in reserve. And this is what I was looking for. This is what I was hoping for. This was part of the plan. The jackals don't know I'm here. This alley is free and clear and open for me to traverse and move the weapons. And the good thing is the jackals don't hear the threat sensors. They don't hear the grapple. They don't hear the weapons being juggled. They don't hear me sprint or run or slide over here. So I want to move all of this stuff for the hunters because it's going to take a lot. You'll get to see the plan with how to use, the best way of using these weapons. And I'm pretty sure, as this goes and progresses, as I do this again and again and again, I'll learn of other methods, probably utilize other weapons. Because at this point, with so many grunts, there's a lot of disruptors, and I really didn't think about this. As long as you got an enemy that doesn't have a shield, the disruptor is going to do damage. It will do good damage, and there's so many disruptors around. That's a lot of ammo. And if you have a method of putting the drop wall down and just shooting the disruptor through the drop wall, I think it'd be very effective. It's one of the things that I'm looking to want to try next. I'll have these two machine gun turrets. I think they're both 50%. And at the Pelican, which is right here, right in front of me, there's two more. Two more of the machine gun turrets. And they're 50% as well. They're placed. I'll also bring along the cinder shot. And I don't think I use it. Well, I don't recall. Now, I'm saving the sniper rifle for the situation of if I can gain a full shield, if I have a full shield and the first hunter is dead, I'll try and do some damage as, per the normal way, up close, if you want to call it up close. But if I can earn a full shield and I know that hunter is damaged and weak, I can go to a safe distance and try and just shoot and kill the hunter and maintain a full shield. So that's its main purpose. And the sword is also for a similar purpose. If I can bait the hunter close, I could stab, hopefully get a stab for a kill or something like that, or at least a stab for a shield. I think at this point I think I've got everything moved. I'm gonna do another pass and a look to see if there's something remaining. I think I would have preferred to have touched up on those on that Escharum weapon stash. But they know I'm here, which is fine. I'll just make my way back and do my fight in the corner. I'm not sure what I'm looking for. I might be trying to punch this jackal. That's what I was trying to do. And yeah, my shield was damaged. So now they know where I'm at, and I'm ready for the hunter fight. And I'll show you the wash, rinse, repeat of how this works and why this is effective and works well in this corner. So first and foremost, you have decent coverage. It's not perfect. There's some seams you can see in between, and the hunters and the enemies can see you through here, so they know you're over here. Those shots typically won't be close enough to cause damage. In some cases they can, but it's kind of weird or kind of odd cases. I want to put 2 threat sensors down so I can always keep an eye on where they are. I want to put a drop wall down, and then I want to engage them with the turret up close. And I'm going to shoot that left, or actually it's the right kneecap of the hunter. You'll hear like kind of a splattery sound, and you'll see kind of some orange splatter. That's what I'm looking for. I want to aim for that kneecap. Then I'll go with 6 shots with the Hydra, and I get lock on and get 6 shots on it. And then after about 30 seconds or a minute, maybe 30 seconds, maybe less, they'll walk right back down here and do it again. And in doing so, I want to... They predict and see that where they're walking is where I'm at, and I want them to continue to do that. I want to keep them on that right side, coming down to my right side, because I don't want them to split up, because one will like to split off to the left and try and flank me, and I can't have that. So I always want them to see and know where I'm at, and have them walk along this side. I think the machine gun turret I was using shot out the emitter of the drop wall, so it didn't last very long. See, that's what I don't want. I don't want that one flanking me. So I want to show myself and have him work his way back. The jackals aren't a problem. They hang back enough where they're not going to be causing a problem. And here's this hunter working his way over. And I'll use the Ravager feature of area of effect, so I'll just do the whole charge and have it just set the ground on fire. You know, just burn them. And once again, he's working that left flank. I don't want them over there. And that one's working its way to my left flank again. Just as I'm about to put that down, it changes course. So now I can't use the drop wall on the right side. Oh, that one got a little close. Took damage. So here's the technique that I should be using when I put the drop wall down and my shield is low. So you can put the drop wall down, they'll walk up to it, and you can walk through the drop wall, punch them back up through the drop wall, and they won't be able to harm you. So that's the other wash, rinse, repeat that can be utilized in getting your shield back. Is just they'll just walk up, and you can just give them a punch, and if they try to punch you back, they get confused with the shield and all that. And being I've got the sword here, the sword would work well. I think it even provides a little bit of kickback. And jackals don't even know what to do. They're hanging back. And like I was saying, the jackals are for the purpose of also getting a shield, so if I have a damaged shield, especially once both of the hunters are dead, I don't want to go into that Blademaster fight with a damaged or no shield. That would be disastrous. I think that lid on that shed saved me. There's this little edge behind me that you get caught on and you can't walk up it. It's like a step and it just prevents you. You just can't step up it. Man, I had to jump. That other hunter really backed off. I had a good opportunity. That helped me get a full shield back. May got shot in the back, and I think I got shot there as I got into cover. But it brought one of the hunters, actually both of them, back. Not sure why they drifted. What I need to do is to show myself when they stop shooting, so they'll come down the ramp. Up and down, you got one looks like it's approaching the ramp to want to come down. Well, and I missed him, my threat sensor. That's one thing that they'll do. They'll walk down that alley and then go back up the ramp. In other cases, they'll continue to come all the way. I'm getting ready with my drop wall, and I'm going to try and get them with it. And yeah, I've got some shield damage. The further away they get, the less accurate the turret is. So yeah, it's really best to shoot them when they're really close. And that one's in rage mode, which means it's really weak. A few shots and I can get it killed. And And there, now this other one, now that its partner is dead, or sorry, its brother is dead, it's gonna charge. It's aggressive and it's gonna charge. It ain't gonna stop like it was before when it had when it had its brother helping out. I need to get away from it. So now I get a chance to touch up on these weapons. Figure out where the hunter is. Back in that corner. Both jackals are still alive. See if I can get a shot on him. I don't have any orange shots I can shoot at.
Search every corner. They're there, waiting.
Biggest bounty! Just spotted! Burn, flightless animal!
I think he shot me in the back, but I got him with a shield. Full shield again, and got away this time without taking any damage. So the other slow part is trying to not have any mistakes against this hunter and not have any surprises. Oh wow, that was pretty exciting. The kickback of the needler pushed him into that, I think it was a shock barrel, and got another boost, another bit of damage from that explosion. Sent him flying. But now that hunter is dead. I just need to take out the two hunters and ensure I get a full shield in doing so. I can just shoot and kill one of them and then just punch out the other. The thing is, I can just shoot this one. I've got a full shield. Nope, I'm gonna have to punch him now. He really changed locations by a lot. It's unusual how quick and how far he traversed from that corner over here to this middle area.
We did it! Well, you did it.
And so wave 3 is over, advanced training is over, and it's time to move on to the Jega Rdomnai fight with the Blademaster. I'm not going to move too many weapons because I really just need the few I have here for really the Sentinel Beam for Rdomnai, the Blademaster, and then skewers and rocket launchers, and the Sentinel Beam for Escharum. There's so many weapons I can leave behind because I don't need a plasma pistol, shock rifle, stalker. It would work out to have the cinder shot with some of the recent exploration I've done. That cinder shot will work amazingly against the Blademaster once the shield is down. And against Escharum, it's like 1 or 2 shots with the cinder shot will take his shield down with each, phase of his vampire shield thing. And in 1 and 2 shots, he's dead once all of that is done, and he's got his hammer out. But that's I only recently explored in doing that, so this was done many months ago. So here's one of the 2 rocket launchers in this area. The other one is by the Pelican. It's a 2-shot. You have to reload it, just like the other one. The one I'm holding is full. Yeah, this one is used. Yeah, I think I take along this machine gun turret for the Blademaster. I don't recall using it though. I had it all put in place, ready to use, but he moves around so much that it just didn't seem practical. Even though I had ideas, it seemed okay, but it didn't work out. I'm just looking around, make sure I haven't forgotten anything, something hasn't caught my eye. There's times where, because there's so many objects, only so many of them will show up on sensor or on the scan, where sometimes some other items may not show. I'm trying to do the scan, but at the same time I'm just trying to look. See, like there you can see those 2, one of the 2 machine gun turrets didn't show on the scan. I think it's time to move the pile. this pile before these items despawn.
Forever. Is it a symbol of life? Or a cruel joke by the Forerunner?
And same as the last elevator ride and the last elevator doors, make sure everything is out the door before you walk too far away from the doors, or they will close and won't open.
You were there when we struck the infinity. The first dreadnought came from the side. And chaos followed. You hardly had time to notice the other bear down upon you. Do you know how long it took us to neutralize your greatest ship? 4 minutes! In 4 minutes, the Infinity, mankind's finest achievement, became a memory.
There are no ammo dispensers and no weapons in this office. And there's, as far as I know, there's nothing hidden. I know I've looked plenty on scans and such, but there's really nothing useful in this office. And what you see on the scan there was a small item. It's that variant plasma pistol. I can't remember the name of the plasma pistol right now. And it's not effective against the Blademaster. And I think even then it's only at 50% anyway because it's placed. Now what's going on here is I had 2 rocket launchers and now there's 1. And I'm really kind of confused about that. Go back to the previous checkpoint and see what happened. I'll pick up the rocket launcher and touch the other one and It takes it all. So I can't understand, after moving all those weapons as far as I did, and not once did I pick up and touch the other. And so they're now merged into one. So what I think happened was, you have to think way back to when I was going up and touching on the weapons, the full rocket launcher despawned, and so the spare was remaining. And so I collected the 2 rocket launchers that were on part of advanced training. 2 of them, there were 2 shots, so it was just, you know, it's now a 4-shot rocket launcher, and so it picked up the spare stuff, the spare rocket launcher. And so that one rocket launcher may not even be full. It may be close. It just may be full, but it's just close.
But first, the last surprise.
Good, Ed. Can you see?
As mentioned before, the skewers are for Escharum, for the Escharum fight. And the rocket launcher should be plural rocket launchers. But like I say, they can't despawn, and it's always unfortunate, and it always seems to work out that the one with the most ammo is the first one to despawn. That happened with one of the skewers as well. One of the full skewers despawned. Yeah, come on, game. That was dead on. Again, it was dead on. I'm gonna go ahead and move these to the exit. So the plan with the Blademaster is the Sentinel Beam, use it, try and use a full clip on it to try and burn through his shield and burn his shield down. And I think I just kind of continue to use the Sentinel Beam, and you know, if I can use Rocket Launcher, but I'm not going to, I'm saving that for Escharum. You burn through his shield, and 1 or 2 rockets, I want to say 1 or 2 rockets will kill him. I know it seems kind of inconsistent, but I think a couple shots can kill him once the shield is down. Each of these Ravager, I want to say each of the Ravagers are 50%, but, and here's something unfortunate, that it gets caught under the sandbags and it's lost. There's nothing to be done about it. what I'm confused about is since they're placed, they should be 50% each. So if I pick one up and touch the other, it should disappear and it should all be absorbed into one full one. But since I've already touched it and the other remained, oh, that's unfortunate. See, right, the needler goes through the floor and it's lost and gone. A bug in another bug in the game. See, that's the way it should have worked with the Ravager. Each of those pulse carbines are 50%. They're placed.
Okay, now say bye-bye.
I'll climb up here and grapple the weapons up. Now, this doorway, if you pass too far through the doorway, it'll lock behind you with a field, with like a force field, and it's done. There's no opening it. You're stuck inside. And yeah, I don't need to take the VR with me.
Daddy's listening. Can you say hi?
I take the needler thinking it's going to be useful or good, but I think since he's camo, I don't think you get lock on, and I don't think it tracks. But if he's close enough, I just wonder if you can just get enough shots on him to get a super combine. But then again, I don't know if it would do much damage. Yeah, what I see on scan down below there was the needler that fell through the floor. It's just below the surface. There's nothing I can do about it. So up here you have all 4 ammo dispensers. You have the shock and the kinetic on the top level, and down on the lower level you've got the the plasma and the heat wave, the hard light heat wave. And what I want to do is set up shop. Here's the hard light ammo dispenser. I'm going to fill and max out the ammo of Sentinel Beam. I'll set up at the stairwell by this ammo dispenser, so when he ends a round and goes camo and gives you a break, I'll run down and fill it up. The plan is pretty much just using the Sentinel Beam, hang around the stairwell, kind of bait him to the top of the stairwell, and he kind of doesn't, he's kind of inconsistent with his pursuit and kind of can just stand at the top of the stairwell and just let you shoot him. Which is what I was hoping to do with the turret. If I can get the turret and he stands at the top of the doorway, maybe I can just shoot him. And the same with the needler, was maybe I could just shoot him. So you see I'm carrying the Ravager and the Sentinel Beam, and for pretty much 90% of the time I'm going to use it.
Good, Ed. Can you sing?
I should have
Say hi.
the threat sensor selected, so I can, so once I skip this, I can drop it down and then switch to the grapple and grapple away. So he's gonna attack. There's no getting away from. I mean, you're not gonna be able to go toe to toe. And there's round 1. He's already run away.
This is where it ends.
Always going to make sure the Sentinel Beam's reloaded. You got to watch out. He throws nades like a 4-seam fastball. Nades are good at taking his shield down. There he is, just top of the stairwell, doesn't pursue, just kind of hangs around.
You die like the others, afraid.
Threat sensor. Yeah, that was fast. That nade came out quick. There's the end of that round. You go fill up.
I could find you in the dark.
Another nade. Throws them quick. End of the next round. Able to do that melee because he already swiped and missed. I probably should load, refill. Had a little help from that oil. I should go refill this. Real quick, he's gonna come right back. Right behind me. Okay, his shield's down. And he gone again. Should be, yeah, there we go. They should be really close to getting the kill.
He wanted to kill your friend, but I promised
Yeah, there it is. Refill the
a sweeter
sentinel beam. Don't need the turret. You can just leave that behind. Don't need the pulse carbine. Take a sword. And since I've already moved the weapons, I just need to get the BR and the sword. And that's about all. Since I'm already carrying the sentinel beam, I'll juggle that as well. I think I need to go back and get the BR, but there's a BR. I think there's BRs in this arena room. In this pod. There's marine weapon racks, but I'm gonna get what I have here.
Whatever the outcome,
So now time to move the stockpile for the Escharum fight.
this ring. We came for war. 1,000 legions occupy this world. The auditorium will give up its secrets. Your interference is just an irritation.
The sword, again, as like I mentioned with other swords, is just a means of getting a shield back, where there could be have a little bit of a kickback when you stab him, and just looking for an opportunity where he might be coming around a corner or having a drop wall down and try and slice him through the drop wall and step him back.
I'm getting a read on Echo 216. He's right above us.
There is no office. It just takes you right to the arena. In this arena, there's pulse carbines, needlers, I think all 4 ammo dispensers, like the plasma, kinetic, hard light, and shock. There are 2 rocket launchers, as in 2-shot rocket launchers. There's a skewer that's in a rack, so it's a 1 in 3 or a 1 in 4. I want to say it's a 1 in 3, so it's a 4-shot skewer. You see, there's a shock rifle. I won't be using the shock. I'm going to place the skewers on the end where the relays are. So I'll be pretty much doing the fighting down here in the area where in the area where the relays you have to take out. And I'm looking for the rocket launchers are here on the other side. I'll place the rocket launch. Well, if I remember, I put the rocket launchers by the torture chamber. Since I won't be using the BR, I'm just going to store it by the kinetic ammo dispenser, because if it's in a safe place. If there's explosions, and there will be this and that, it's not going to go anywhere. And to remember where I put it by the dispenser that applies to BR. I have this rocket launcher in this spot here, because once I finish off Escherum's shield shenanigans and he's got the hammer out, then I'm going to move to the torture chamber end and finish the fight from this end. And I want to be able to access the rocket launchers, or at least see them. I put this one in a bad spot. It really shouldn't. I really need to put it there. And it ends up hurting me a little bit, if I remember. I think I had done a playthrough of I think in this playthrough I ran out of rocket ammo and I couldn't get to the other one. It was kind of blocked off and I couldn't get to it, ended up dying. And you can earn a checkpoint here and there, but I think it put me back to after destroying the first relay or something like that. So you can get checkpoints, but you don't get late checkpoints. You get these early checkpoints. So this is the area I'll be running around. And so the method that I use is before he has the vampire shield on, he's running around without a shield, and you can just give him damage. So 4 shots to the head, or at least 4 body shots with the skewer, will kick him into vampire shield mode, where he activates the shield and then you have to take out a relay. And so if you just kind of do it cautiously, where he steps around a corner and the very moment you see him, you get a body shot on him, he doesn't have a chance to shoot back. You get the shot on him and just get into cover and just keep doing that over and over again. So you do the 4 shots like that, he goes into vampire mode. You take out a relay and just wash, rinse, repeat. You just be cautious and careful and just make sure you get your shots on him and don't take shots. And when you get the 4th relay done, then I return to the torture chamber. And being that he's got a melee weapon, if I get elevation, if I get a little bit of elevation on him, then all he's left to do is just throw nades. And if you can apply damage on him, then he won't be throwing nades. And so I can fire rockets at him, and I could, if I think there's any more skewer left over, I can use the skewer, I can use the sentinel beam, I can throw nades. But there should be enough rockets to get the kill on him. But as it turned out, one of the playthroughs one of these times. I think 6 shots wasn't enough to kill him. I think 1 or 2 shots just kind of missed him and just kind of grazed, you know, just splash damage. So I think I had some bad luck with some shots, which is why I have a second rocket launcher I meant to bring to one of them despawned. So that's pretty much the plan, and it's been able to play out a few times before. It's just here's the playthrough that made the video. One other thing I think of note that probably should have been done was to destroy all the coils. I feel like they can do damage and they're helpful to apply damage to them, but there's several times where unexpectedly a coil exploded near me and either killed me or took my shield out. So I guess what I was doing here was, as a contingency, just grabbing some extra weapons and laying them around. So I grab a needler and I put it by one of those dispensers by one of the where the skewer was sitting, and then I grab a plasma turret and I eventually put it by the elevator doors, and I grab a machine gun turret and put it by the elevator doors. Just as a contingency or for whatever reason, just in case. Turns out I don't use them or get into them at all. So fight is on. Make a right turn, grapple away. Gotta put threat sensors down frequently. I try and put them in the middle of the room. Just right by that coil. I can get extra damage if I... Yeah, I didn't do anything.
You will die here, demon. Today.
That drop wall does not
What will you do now?
resist too many shots of the scrap cannon. Okay, so just a few shots there. I think that coil may have done something.
Any damage
So
you inflict on Escharum is transferred
he's
to
already-
Echo 216.
We just finished
the power's transmitted via a
the first
series
part,
of
so we're
relays
going
around the
through
room.
relay 1.
Let's see if I can... Got it. Relays exposed.
From
Destroy
the
it.
echo chamber, looking at this room, it's like the 10 o'clock. Kind of think of it as a clock. So
Relays
that was
down.
the 10
So's his
o'clock.
shield.
You think this will save your friend? He'll die like you.
The next one will be at the 8 o'clock, which would be just to the left, the far left corner. There, I got my shield back, and like I said, just utilizing that shield. Step through it, punch, and then step back. I may have missed
Your
on
back
that
is dead.
skewer shot.
Shattered. And you are alone.
Okay, now he's moving on to relay 2.
Escharum shield reactivated. Expose the relay.
Got it.
And
Go.
I'm on the side where I can see the relay.
The shield's down. Now's your chance.
Cost you dearly. Lost your nerve? I thought so. Prove your valor.
So there's 1, 2,
Nowhere to run. Nowhere to hide.
3, and what I want to do is I don't have that many skewer shots,
Next
and I'm
relay's
getting low.
exposed. Take it out.
3 shots and a little bit of sentinel beam will kick him into the next. We'll kick him back into the Baron Power Shield. This is the 4 o'clock.
And it's down. You know
4
what to do.
o'clock relay. Number 2. See if I can utilize these hard light coils. I think that shot missed.
The Covenant is dead. Soon humanity will join them. Our pack will not be stopped. Not by you.
That's the is now moved to the last relay.
Final relay's exposed. Destroy it.
Now it's time for the 2 o'clock relay, which is just on the other side of the wall of where I'm at. So I just need to work my way to the other side of the room. And I got him almost where I want. He's going to be able to see me, but I'm going to have to peel away. I almost had that down. Now it's hammer time. So I'm going to walk up to this.
That's
I
it.
need to drop
Last relay destroyed. Echo 216 is safe, Chief. Escharum wants you to prove your legend.
I hit that head on
Time
straight on.
to prove
I'm
it.
up on top, and I need to shoot him and give him damage. So, and it works out that that big barrel contributed to killing him.
You did it. Help me get him out.
Both the rocket and it was just splash damage, and I guess you could say cowbell came into play with the barrel. That was fortunate. I've had plenty other playthroughs where I had to shoot him several times with rockets and whatever I had left that I'm carrying. So this point to go into the next mission is to take the BR and his hammer. The hammer will be good and useful against the hunters in Silent Auditorium. Making sure it's reloaded and topped off so the BR is full. I think I'm making sure I have nades. Yeah, I'm looking to touch up on nades. Yeah, all 4 types of nades are in this this facility. And sure, my shield is down, but when the next mission starts, I'll have full shield.
You sure you're okay down there? Want me to wait?
Negative. Pull back.
We'll be in touch.
And there's to show I've got the hammer. And that is the end of House of Reckoning. Thank you for watching. Be sure to join me for the final mission, Mission 15, Silent Auditorium.